True power and influence are born from childhood and leisure, for it is on life's so-called perfect freedoms that wisdom exists and power feeds. Therefore, those who develop true power are those who are nurtured and educated in the lightness of youth. So is as William Wordsworth displays within his poem, I Grieved for Bonaparte. It is vital for the comprehension of this poem to understand that the vain grief of the narrator signifies an ineffectual or futile despair. Wordsworth's poem reads, I grieved for Bonaparte with a vain and an unthinking grief. The tenderest mood of that man's mind, what can it be? What food fed his first hopes? What knowledge could he gain? 'Tis not in battles that from youth we train the governor who must be wise and good, and temper with the sternness of the brain thoughts motherly and meek as womanhood. Wisdom doth live with children round her knees. Books, leisure, perfect freedom, and the talk man holds with weekday man in the hourly walk of the mind's business. These are the degrees by which true sway doth mount. This is the stock true power doth grow on, and her rights are these. Wordsworth describes with the use of diction his grief for Napoleon Bonaparte as one insignificant and mindless. This word choice is evident in the phrase a vain and an unthinking grief. Such an expression of insincere despair implies a criticism of Bonaparte, as if he is not worth true sadness. This criticism is directed at the apparent false power figure that spawned from Bonaparte's political and militaristic actions. It becomes uncertain as to what his morals and motives were, for it is not in battle that knowledge or hopes bloom, just as it is not in battle that true power forms. A further display of criticism in regards to Bonaparte is the structure associated with the questioning of his motives. 3 questions flow in sequence, asking, the tenderest mood of that man's mind, what can it be? What food fed his first hopes? What knowledge could he gain? This series of questions, searching for morality in Bonaparte, mocks him. An initiation into power, when immoral, like that of Bonaparte, is not a true power. It is therefore one which will be questioned and which will evade any sort of praise. The inspiration for power, wisdom, and hope truly comes from tenderness and nurturing associated with childhood and youthful activities. In youth, the opportunity for inspiration presents itself. The balance of hopes and knowledge, moreover, is the only place where wisdom, that which will produce true power, is found. This fact is exemplified in the line, wisdom doth live with children round her knees. This expression is the volta of the sonnet, which displays Italian characteristics, shifting the focus from what can be reasoned from impressions of Bonaparte to what is true of all beings in life. Here is found the true statement that the acquirement of influence grows from a nurtured leisurely childhood or childlike state. The imagery of books, leisure, and freedom implies a sense of innocence and an escape from stress. The hourly walk of the mind's business is also an implication of relaxation, as if one's business is not time-consuming. Therefore, stress hinders power development, and leisure aids it. It is what a human being indulges in that will allow them the ability to influence others. One can gain wisdom from experiences of leisure, from which power will then grow. Furthermore, the idea of power being spawned from wisdom is explained in the personification of power, as it is given the ability of growth, like that of a plant or other living being. An additional display of personification is that of wisdom itself, described as a living or human being. The nurturing being of wisdom envelops childhood, a leisurely, naive experience. Wisdom, in essence, is a motherly figure surrounding children from whom power grows. Such power grows not from immoral or ill-fitting motives. Power emerges within and around a person through life, feeding on freedoms, when one is most susceptible to the attainment of wisdom. Only those practiced in thought and knowledge can acquire true power, unlike Bonaparte. This truth is exemplified within the sonnet by William Wordsworth, I Grieved for Bonaparte, aided by diction, imagery, and personification. Power is more than an influential position in the political or military world. It is the development of knowledge and understanding into a greater ability.